From historic Rice Field in Elkhart, the cornerstone of the Coach Tom Kurth Athletics Complex, Michiana Video is proud to present Indiana Unified Track and Field. Tonight, athletes and partner athletes from Elkhart High School, Penn High School, Mishawaka High School, Riley High School, John Adams High School, and Jimtown High School will be competing here at Rice Field. Gary Martin is the executive producer of Michiana Video, and I'm Matt Yeakey. Good evening, everyone. A little breezy, overcast in Elkhart tonight, but we see the athletes preparing at both the shot put area and the long jump area, and we're proud to present this event to you. Always a very, very well spectated one on Michiana Video and on the WSBT media platforms as we give some needed publicity to these wonderful athletes as they compete in unified track and field. Has a short history in the state of Indiana, developed in the late teens. Elkhart Memorial High School state champion in 2018 and Elkhart High School state championship last spring in 2024. Todd Sheely, the head coach of Elkhart High School, was also the head coach at Elkhart Memorial High School when both of those teams won the Indiana High School State Championship. And that is, forever, of the remerged Elkhart High School, the first state championship won by a team. So hats off to these student athletes as they compete here tonight at Rice Field. We'll show you some footage of the long jump and shot put. In unified track, oftentimes you get the competitors' information a little bit later after the beginning, but once we receive that information, we'll certainly convey that to you. We want to make sure that we identify all these competitors tonight. We know there's a lot of friends and family watching them from around northern Indiana, across the United States, and around the world on Michiana Video and on the WSBT media platforms. Like us and follow us on Facebook, Michiana Video. You'll also see our sponsors stream across your screen, and during the commercial timeouts, their support of Michiana Video supports Elkhart High School athletics. And Coach Todd Sheely on cue is going to give us a sheet of all the competitors. Good to see you, Coach. Do you have a minute?
I do.
I thought this might be the easiest time to get you tonight. Coach Todd Sheely joining us tonight. Coach, thanks for joining us on Michiana Video.
Absolutely. Thank you for coming out. We always appreciate you guys coming out and showcasing our student athletes and getting them on TV. That's fun for them.
Well, we think so. We're just talking about it right now, and now that you've given me the sheet, I can identify them. Right now we're showing long jump and shot put. Can you give us an overview of unified track, how it's scored, how it's placed?
Yeah, absolutely. So right now you've got what would be considered your lowest performances going in shot put and long jump. When it comes to sectionals, as well as tonight, because we are scoring this meet, whoever wins this lowest flight, lowest heat, will still get 10 points. Whoever has the best performance of the night and throws the shot put 50 feet and long jumps 20 feet, they will score 10 points. So it's important that in unified track you have a balanced team. I don't want to say you don't want all fast kids or all great throwers or best jumpers, but you've got to have a balance. You've got to have kids that, for example, last year at state, we have a kid who gets second in the first heat of shot put, gets 8 points. He throws it, say, 45 feet and gets second in the state, right? We have a kid who is in the fifth, which is the second to bottom flight, and he gets first place. He throws it 19 feet. So there's a difference of 26 feet here, and yet the kid in the fifth flight gets us 10 points. So it's important to have that balance, as I said, across the board there.
And so, for example, looking back in retrospect last year when we won the state championship, and of course I always say we when I mean Elkhart High School. I'm just a little biased that way, but Anyway, we were basically seeded to get 110 points, but we ended up scoring 124 points. So that means really our athletes and partner athletes really outdid their personal best along the way, scored more points than they were seeded to make.
Correct. So basically when, and it's in a few weeks now, we will turn in an entry list based on performances from seasonal meets. And you take the best jump, run, throw, and you write that in. That's your entry. And then if a kid improves from sectionals, then whatever that performance is goes with them to regionals. If they improve again, whatever that performance is then goes with them to state. So you really want your kids peaking, obviously, at tournament time. We do have a performance rule, though, that's in place. You can only improve by 15% in field events and 20% in running events. Otherwise, that's a disqualification. Reason that's in place is just to keep everybody honest, because with unified track, you are on an honor system in terms of how you enter your performances. We're not quite to having a state run place for us to all enter our times and distances. Hopefully we get there in the next couple years. But until then, we'll just trust that everybody does a good job on their entries.
And Coach, you might have to correct me because I referenced really, and this is from a unified football perspective. They talk about partners, they talk about athletes and partner athletes. Really here, we just have athletes that are in different flights.
We do. When it comes to the tournament, you can only enter 2 partners, which would be our students without cognitive disabilities,
yep,
and 2 athletes, which would be our students with cognitive disabilities. Nowhere on any sheet other than an entry list would you ever see partners and athletes.
So how would you like me to just say athletes?
You can just call them student athletes.
Okay.
You can call them Elkhart Lions. Honestly, whatever works. They are partners and they are athletes. But at the same time, no one out here knows just watching on TV right now, yep, or wherever they're streaming this, or if they're in the stands right now. You don't know who's a partner and athlete. You could guesstimate, but you don't know for sure.
We stream this everywhere. It's across the United States, around the world.
I was going to say, my friends out in California just texted me and said, hey, saw you guys on TV. So, no, I appreciate that.
And we're also on the WSBT media platforms. So just retrospect, one last question. 2024 state championship, first ever in the re-merged Elkhart High School. You had won a state championship at Elkhart Memorial in 2018. What did that mean to you and to your team?
It's interesting. So Coach Ketchum, who is now one of our coaches, he was a student athlete on my Memorial State Championship team, on our Memorial State Championship team, and now he's with us as a coach. The growth of unified track in 2018, none of the schools that are here tonight were here in 2018.
Isn't that incredible?
And so since 2018, obviously we've seen the growth, right? We now have Penn, Mishawaka, Jimtown, South Bend Riley, South Bend Adams, West Noble competed with us a few weeks back, and it was their first unified track meet ever. So the sport continues to grow. It continues to gain popularity. And it to me, it's still one of the things that makes sports in schools what it is, and that's education-based athletics. And it shows the importance of representing your school, wearing that letter jacket, wearing a state championship ring if you're fortunate enough to get it. But I'm proud to be the coach of the Lions Unified Track Team. And for me, I couldn't be more proud of the kids and what they accomplished last year. I'm really proud of the kids that came back this year, because it would have been real easy to say, you know what, I won a state championship, I'm kind of done. But they didn't. Most of them came back and said, I want to try it again. And maybe it wasn't for themselves. Maybe it was for some of their teammates or some new teammates. And it's never easy to win.
Nope.
In unified,
no matter the sport.
No, it's not. And in unified track, you got to be a little lucky in how your seedings fall. But hopefully our kids are having a good experience this year. We're growing. We have about 51 kids this year. So we're up about 8 or 9 kids from last year. And we have about 20-plus new kids.
Yeah.
So getting them all acclimated to what it means to be a unified track athlete takes a little bit of time, but we're getting there.
Well, that's awesome. And when does your tournament series start?
So we start, it will be Saturday, May 17th.
And where will we be?
I take that back. It will be Saturday, May 24th, and it's at Northwood. Northwood hosts the sectional this year.
Okay.
So we've added, we've changed it up at the state level now. There are actually 3 regionals It's the top 3 teams get out of sectionals and go to a Northwood regional, which is basically encompasses the northern part of the state, the 3 sectionals there, and then the top 4 out of 9 there move on to state. So it'll still be a 12-team state. So still not easy to get through. I mean, you've got to be in the top third of everything you do.
And as you just noted, this sport is growing in the state of Indiana. So you have more and more teams, fielding teams, and so the competition is going to continue to grow. It's going to be more difficult to get through that tournament series.
Absolutely. It's going to get more difficult every single year. And as schools that are brand new get a little bit more acquainted with what it's like. I compare it in boys soccer. Schools 10 years ago that didn't have boys soccer now have had it for a few. They're going to be winning sectionals in the next couple of years as well. Some of these schools like New Prairie,
yep.
They're going to be a tough out for a lot of teams coming up.
They are indeed. A really good athletics program over in New Carlisle for sure.
Absolutely.
They've done a nice job. So what's your prognosis for this year's team?
You know what? I'm not quite sure yet. We've got some depth. We've got some kids that are coming into their own and doing really well. My comments tonight is we've got to be a better team all around. And what I mean by that is we've got to be there supporting. We may have just competed our event and maybe it didn't go as well as we wanted. But if we can support that kid in the 4th heat, the 6th heat, the 1st heat even, that's going to only make us a better team.
No question. Well, let's hope the weather holds off. It seems to a few sprinkles, but it looks like just overcast now.
I think we're going to be optimistic and we're going to get this thing in and be okay.
So the running events will start at 7 o'clock. Is
yes,
that
sir.
Right?
Running events at 7 o'clock, and you've got a sheet in front of you, and I will send you some results here later on as well. But you've got some info right there to go with.
Well, I appreciate all your help. We're going to make sure we identify everybody, Coach, and give everybody their due. And obviously we're going to continue our great video so friends and family can see their student athletes compete here tonight in Elkhart. And we appreciate all the help you've given us to put on this production and your time here tonight.
Absolutely. Appreciate you guys doing what you do, and we're very thankful for the opportunity to be on your TVs.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Coach. Coach Todd Sheely, Elkhart High School Lions Unified Track, also boys soccer coach for Elkhart High School, and he's done a tremendous job there as well. So a lot of great information from Coach. And now we want to make sure we identify all the student athletes here tonight that you'll see competing. And the only thing I can tell you is, unfortunately, we can show all the video and you can pick out your school colors, and I know all the school colors of the athletes competing. Usually what we do, and they do it in unified track, they'll do it in boys track and field, usually the competitors with the lowest personal best, and of course all of them are trying to improve, will go in the first flight, followed by the flights in order. And Coach Sheely did a great job. So most folks, or a lot of folks, are familiar with golf and a handicap system, and tennis has a handicap level system where they compete. So competitors are really competing against similarly skilled athletes, which makes it all the better. And then they have the opportunity to have a personal best and improve the distance they put the shot or their long jump, and then when we get to the running events. So let's identify some competitors for you. We'll end up identifying all of them, and hopefully we can get you results when they come in. So in the long jump tonight, Flight 1 includes Jenna Pletcher of Jimtown. She has a best of 6'8" and a quarter. Jack Glasgow from Penn, he has a best of 5'1". Looks like Taylor King, or I'm sorry, Taylor Ring from South Bend Riley. Taylor has a best of 5 feet. Elkhart's Micah Fast, 4'5". Jimtown Colin Hilton, 4'3". Penn Aiden Jahente, 3'11". Elkhart Wesley Howard, 3'8", and Landon Bennett, 2'5". So once again, all those competitors are competing against each other in that flight, trying to do better. They're out here doing great things. Then in Flight 2, Lindsay Gorsuch from Penn, 8'4". Dylan Flanagan from John Adams, 8'1". Lamaria Simon from Riley, 8 feet. Chloe Herwood from South Bend John Adams, 8 feet. Olivia Baca, 8 feet. From Jimtown, Jadil Sanabria Patino, 7 3/4. From South Bend Riley, De Lamar Oliveras, 7 feet 5. And from Penn, Ethan Holmes, 6 feet 9. That's really tightly bunched in that flight too, so that's going to be a great competition. As a golfer, I think I might fit into either flight 3 or flight 4 as a 15 handicap, which I carry with me. But flight 3 includes Maya Williamson from Penn, 9 feet 8. And again, I apologize if I mispronounce one of the student athletes' names. Doing my best. Cher Rodriguez from Penn, 9'4". Bryce Maluski from Penn, 9'3.5". Kyla Trovator from Penn, 9'3". Aiden Rogers from John Adams, 9'1". And Gabby Wicker from Mishawaka, 8'4". And again, a real tightly bunched flight 3. And oh my goodness, look at flight 4. It's going to be an exciting competition there. Ariana Richards from Jimtown, 10'3". Charia Newman from Penn, 10'1". Desiree Anderson from Riley, 10 feet. Molly Ann Snyder from Penn, 10 feet. Roger Lewis from John Adams, 10 feet. Rachel Shekow from Penn, 9'11.5". And Micah Wilson from Penn, 9'9.5". And just, again, we all know that Penn's a large high school like Elkhart. And Coach Shealy just pointed out they didn't even have a team in 2018. So hats off to the Kingsmen for getting all these student athletes out here on unified track. They always encourage participation. They're always great about investing in young people. And so Athletic Director Hart, and by the way, a word for Jerry Thacker, Dr. Thacker, retiring as the superintendent of the Penn Harris Madison Community School Corporation. Dr. Thacker, sorry Jerry, is top notch. And congratulations to him on his retirement. Then we would have flight 5, and that is, looks like Alea Young from Adams at 10 feet 11. Olivia Richards from Jimtown, 10 feet 10. Cameron Greer, Mishawaka, 10 feet 9. Jersey Fravel, Penn, 10'8". Millie Mamalenti from Mishawaka, 10.5. Mamalenti, an old-time Mishawaka name. Marie Roach, Mamalenti, really generational in Mishawaka. Marie Roach, 10'6". And Malquiz Meradiega from Elkhart, 10'6". And Dina Quintanilla from Elkhart, 10'4". So another competitive flight. And finally, flight 6. Actually, I'm just starting. Reese Brew from Mishawaka, 11 feet 11. Peyton Garton from Jimtown, 11'9". Romy Granger from Adams, I think that's supposed to be 10'10".
Got enough pictures of them guys sweeping. I don't have you yet.
Mishawaka, Margaret Coppins, and it's cut off. Margaret, I apologize to your family. CLA, so it might be Clay, but Margaret Coppins, 11'7". Michaela Nemeth from Penn, 11'6". Mia Reinholtz from Elkhart, 11'4". And Samari Morris from John Adams, that would be, I think, 10'10". Some of these on the sheet get cropped, but we're doing our best to give you all that information. There's a total of 10 flights in long jump. And we're seeing all the competitors have their competition. And if memory serves, I should have asked Coach Shealy, but I believe each competitor gets 3 jumps. I don't believe there's a final. I think you just get 3 jumps with the amount of student athletes that we have, and you take your best jump. And again, you can recognize by their uniforms, usually your school. And that competitor with the black and gold would look to be from Penn. And let's see if we get a better look. And she is. That'll help us. Big wave. So we figured out the Kingsmen in their uniforms tonight. A fun black and gold combination. As we continue to watch some long jump competition. And I think in the early flights, or perhaps for all of them, sometimes you notice the board that usually is utilized short of the pit, but depending again on the athlete and where they're at in their long jumping career, they're just like anybody else, golfers, tennis players, any sport. You're trying to improve, so I think they just go off that last board where the white strip is, and certainly we don't want anyone to get injured, but nobody's going to jump out of that pit, I can assure you. And they carefully rake it, and of course in the long jump it's the closest point where you land, either in your feet or your rear end or whatever the case may be, where the measurement is taken. And always Elkhart, they do such a nice job running meets, try to do so in a real efficient manner. Our running events will be starting at 7 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time in about 39 minutes. Because a lot of these competitors, particularly in long jump, but a few in shot put, will also be involved in running events. And so, if at all possible, we'd like to get these two events completed before we go to the running events. And Unified Track does not have the full complement of running events as they do in boys and girls track and field. But they get their money's worth. Gary, you're getting some great shots. There's a competitor from Penn. She fell back a little bit. Just to make sure she goes forward. You want to land and go forward if at all possible. And with 6 schools participating, there's always a lot of activity. And that competitor, she's wearing her sweatpants and her top. Can't tell which school she's from. And I like Coach Shealy's comments. They're all student athletes for sure. Some of them have some challenges, but they're out here competing. And even the student athletes that don't have challenges of a different sort. But every one of them taking pride in their school, pride in themselves and their families, out here competing at Rice Field. Wonderful to see. And that young man's from John Adams. I can see the familiar eagle. Great camera work, Rex Smith and Courtney Hamilton tonight under the direction of our executive producer, Mr. Gary Martin. Michiana Video. Like us and follow us on Facebook. And you can see us on the WSBT media platforms. Oh, goodness gracious. We already have 2,500 followers. Oh, I stand corrected, Gary. I was already putting us over that 2,500 slot. So please follow us on Facebook. Get us over 2,500 on Michiana Video. A lot of great content for you to view as we follow high school athletes around northern Indiana. And here's a competitor from Penn. He's chugging. And jumping. He got some sand out of his shoe. That's beautiful. Love it. That's going to happen. All of us can sympathize with that young man. Get a pebble in your shoe,
We're
or
still in the first run.
your socks don't fit right, and got to readjust. All right. It's interesting. A lot of the competitors still in some sweatpants or a sweatshirt
Like
as they compete. It is a little breezy tonight here in Elkhart. .65 The wind is out of the southeast at 9. So when you view the track tonight, a little bit of a headwind actually for the competitors as they would go towards the finish line on the home side of Rice Field. Part of the Coach Tom Kurth Athletics Complex on the banks of the Elkhart River in Elkhart. Another competitor, that's a good jump. She's looking back. I think she was pleased. And we'll see what school she's from. It's on her sweatpants. That might be an Eagle. I believe the Eagles were wearing that, but we'll check it out. Or a Wildcat, perhaps. Here's a Penn competitor. And we'll go on with this is still the early going in the earlier flights, but we'll go make sure that we identify everybody because we also have to make sure we do the same for shot put. We're watching long jump. In flight 9 will be Owen Marks from Elkhart. His best effort is 15.7. Isaac Silvis from Elkhart, 15.5. Gus Renke from John Adams High School, 15.2. Francisco Izalo from Elkhart, 15.1. Dylan Lawwill from John Adams, 14.8. Logan Abril from Jimtown, 14.6.5. And in flight 10, Leonardo Santiago from Penn High School. Great jump, 19.3. But Elkhart right behind him, Colin Krempik at 18.8. Javery Stokes from Elkhart, 18.4. Oliver Stevens from Jimtown, 18.2. Quinn Chandler from Elkhart, 16.8. Jarvis Shurell from Adams, 16.4. And Brendan Walker from Elkhart at 16.1. And in the shot put tonight, let's see how many flights we have. We have a total of 9. And flight 1, James Yoakum from Mishawaka, 11 feet. Chad Myers from Jimtown, 10 feet, ½ inch. Miguel Esparza from Elkhart, 9.1. Eden Longbreak from Elkhart, 8.11. Daniel Pine from Adams, 8.2. Chris Palmer, 7.2. And in flight 2, Alicia Dixon from Elkhart, 14.4. Stephen Bastello from Elkhart, 14.1. Aquila Wesson from John Adams, 13. Cam Ridgway, 12.2 from Elkhart. Maria Hernandez, 11.10. Flight 3 are all Penn competitors. Miriam Ivy, 16.4. Evelyn Scheidler, 15.7 Zaya Graham, 15.11. Constant Sigatone Pina from Penn, 15.7. Joseph Curtis, 14.9. Sophia Garcia, 14.8. And Cody McGillum, 14.10.5. And in flight 4, Brennan Crouch, 17, 5 inches. Alexa Champ from Penn, 17.6. Violet Redmond from Mishawaka, 16.11. Audrina Trujillo from Penn, 16.10. And Burley Miller, 16.9 from Elkhart. Kendall Shepard of Penn, 16.7. And Johnny Heath of Elkhart, 16.1. In Flight 5, Aubrey Berger from Penn, 19.7. Maddie Paget from Elkhart, 19.2. Tyler Moore from Jimtown, 19.3. Keegan Michelle from Penn, 19 feet. Jaden Marino, I think that was Michelle Keegan, I'm sorry. There was a comma there, but see, Penn usually goes in order. Jaden Marino from Mishawaka, 18.6. Catalina Martinez from Penn, 18.3. And Bradley Flanagan, John Adams, 18.1. And then Flight 6, Jaden Horvath from Penn, 22.7. Robert Shelton from Adams, 21 feet. Haley Kruger from Penn, 20 feet 10. Caitlin Gaynor from Penn, 20 feet 8. Braylon Hartley from Penn, 20 feet 2 inches. Andon Carmichael from Penn, an even 20 feet. And Philip Horvath, he's from John Adams High School, 19.3. You see one of the Elkhart Lions in the long jump. Scene, please. Okay. Leland Hedrick from Elkhart, 24 feet 3 inches. Miguel Rodriguez from Penn, 24 feet ½ inch. Henry Randolph from Jimtown, 23.4. Kaylor Leckel from Mishawaka, 23. Olivia DeMadge from Mishawaka, 22.2. Iona Granger from John Adams, 22.2. Aubrey Scott from Mishawaka, 21.7. And Aaron Castillo from Elkhart, 21.1. Flight 8, David Chrysler from Jimtown, 30 feet 1 inch. Elkhart, Jose Paz Cabrera, 29 feet 2 inches. Efren Gibson from John Adams, 27.2. Duncan Lefevre from Elkhart, 27.11. Nathan Tingle from Penn, 27 feet. Alec Flanagan from John Adams, 26.1. Hector Herrera from Elkhart, 24 feet 9 inches. And from John Adams, Lucency Sharaleaf, 24 feet 7 inches. Hope I came close there. Nico Hamby from Jimtown, 42 feet 1 inch. This is in Flight 9. Camden Leroy, Jimtown, 39 feet 2. Logan LaFree, Jimtown, 35.6. Jaden Burnside from Penn, 35.4. Cruz Gallegos from Penn, 32.8. Elijah Stewart from John Adams, 31.1. And Gabrielle Rodriguez, 30 feet 7 inches. And again, I should say that actually Lucency Shara Leaf is actually in Flight 9. She's improved tremendously to 32 feet. So once again, once we have final results, we'll try to bring those to you as they come up to the press box at Rice Field. And another competitor. We'll see if we can identify her school. And I think she's from Essentials, which is not competing here tonight. If I read that right. She's getting coached up. Good for her. And one of the Kingsmen. And the requisite getting the shoes off and the sand out. You can do nothing but smile watching these student athletes compete, doing something positive. Here's one of our Elkhart Lions. And another lion. We'll let you know that this Sunday in Indianapolis, we will have the baseball sectional draw and the softball sectional draw. Elkhart in baseball will go to a sectional hosted by Northridge, and softball will go to a sectional hosted by Goshen at their new baseball softball complex by Prairie View Elementary School there in Goshen. Great smile, young lady. Of course, you can keep loose with a soccer ball. And there's another one of our competitors. In gray and black, not really helping me too much. And a competitor from John Adams. Always been a big fan of that strutting eagle. Very confident eagle indeed. And that's a caveman. There you go. Mishawaka caveman right there. She seemed pretty pleased with that one. Across the far way, the shot put competition continues to progress. We've heard a couple of announcements of flight winners and placement. And again, just like anybody else in any activity, all these student athletes trying to get better. The PB, the personal best. There's some shot put activity. And competitor from John Adams. Smile from her. As we showcase these student athletes. Here's a Kingsman. Oh, I think she ran through the pit.
It's all right. It's all right.
So again, in unified track, a more limited schedule of events because they're flighted, as Coach Shealy explained and reminded us. We'll have a 100-meter dash, a 400-meter dash, and relays. And that's really the schedule that you have for unified track. But a lot of heats. And again, because you seed the student athletes, by their best efforts so far. And I think that was a competitor from, trying to see his shirt. He's hiding. He's either Jimtown or Mishawaka, I believe. But of course, everyone watching us on Michiana Video and the WSBT media outlets can identify their favorite student athlete and team. And that competitor from John Adams gives a wave. Okay, he's all right with that. And you always see, as in any track and field event meet, that the athletes very cognizant of their teammates and supportive, cheering them on when they're not competing.
That's your hand.
And we have figured out that that is a Mishawaka caveman. Pretty smile and wave from that young lady.
Try not to put your hand out there. Oh, my bad. You're all right.
This venue has been around close to 100 years. And until about the mid-'70s, it had a cinder track before finally going to an all-weather track. But cinders were prevalent until the 70s because of the expense. But it's hosted a lot of NIC championships. And actually, some years ago, the track itself was named for Matt Ronzone, who was a famous Elkhart High School pre-split track and field coach, Coach Ronzone. I'm sure that's buried in the archives someplace. A Penn competitor. Also wanted to make a word or say a word for our friend Jeff Miller. Jeff has been named the head football coach at Brandywine High School. And Jeff, he's a Blazer, he's a Charger, he's a Lion, and now he's at the Brandywine Bobcats. We're very happy for Jeff, but we hope he's not a stranger. We'd love to see him during basketball season again next year when Keith Bieber is producing, and we need someone to sit in with me. Jeff always does a tremendous job, loves athletics, loves student athletes. He will do an outstanding job at Brandywine as their head football coach. So congratulations, Jeff. Jeff's also a longtime track and field coach, assistant coach, still coaching the Elkhart Lions this spring. Hurdles and sprints. I think Jeff primarily does the hurdles. And here's one of our Lions. Nice jump. And she went forward. She's pleased with that one. I love her smile and a wave. All right.
What is it?
Nothing like competition and trying to improve yourself. That looked like an Odyssey golf t-shirt, but I know that's not correct. And he has purple or maroon sweatpants. So a young man either from Mishawaka or Jimtown is the best guess I can give you. I know there's a difference between the two. And a Penn Kingsman right there. Looking back. A little grin. And now more of a smile. She's pleased. And get the sand out of her shoes. and a hug. And you can tell from the enthusiasm of Coach Sheely how much he enjoys working with these student athletes. As I mentioned, also the head coach of the boys soccer team at Elkhart High School, where he's done an outstanding job with those Lions. John Adams Eagles. And across the way at the southeast corner of Rice Field, this shot put competition continues. Bringing you a lot of video of the long jump because it's the best video we can bring you. Shot put's a little bit further away, so it's a longer camera view. And one of our Elkhart Lions. You see all of our sponsors streaming across your screen and during our commercial timeouts. Their support of Michiana Video supports Elkhart High School athletics. Elkhart Lions. And a celebration, perhaps a personal best. Elkhart Boys Golf will be down at Max Walton Golf Club in Syracuse for the Wawasee Invitational on Saturday. Coach Todd King and his crew having an outstanding season. And I think I'm going to go down to Max Walton, my home course, and see Coach King and take a couple pictures of the leaderboard and talk to a couple of the boys. Hopefully the weather cooperates with them on Saturday. And we'll give you a report about that next week when we're doing a Penn Elkhart baseball game and a Penn Elkhart softball game on Michiana Video. One of the Adams competitors. And from John Adams. I believe that Riley High School, who has some athletes competing tonight, relatively new to unified track, but it's great to see the Wildcats competing. The pride of the South Side.
How many flights are there?
Over on Fellows Street in South Bend.
How many flights are there, Brian? 10?
And we've had our first call for the 100-meter dash. And we're supposed to start in about 10 minutes with those competitors. As I mentioned, we'll try to bring you some results from the field events if we receive them. And that might well be after they're completed, all flights, and then we'll give you those results. And young man, long jumping with a ball cap, which to each his own. It might be his good luck cap. I need to find that good luck cap when I play golf. And one of the Penn competitors. And we know they're making progress. We're getting some results over the PA, over the public announce system here at Rice Field. And we'll try to grab those results for you. Here's a John Adams competitor. He looks back. Happy. It is just so much fun to watch these young student athletes compete. One of the Lions. Lights are now on at Rice Field. A little overcast. Had some raindrops, but no ominous, dangerous weather of any type. Hope we avoid that and complete this wonderful unified track and field meet. And one of the Eagles taking flight. Elkhart High School, high five. And he's still running. I think that means he's happy. He's going to run the length of the field. That must have been his last jump and a good one. Oh, I think he's checking in for the 100-meter dash. Okay. We're talking to... Well, actually, he's talking to, I believe that's one of our trainers. And we just had a test run on the starting pistol. That worked. As we're trying to organize the athletes. Actually, our starter is already down at the starting line for the 100-meter dash. That will include $12 heats. And I know they'd like to complete the long jump prior to that event commencing. And we were trying to stay on time for a 7 o'clock start. It looks like we're close to being completed in the long jump. And already we're getting organized for the 100-meter dash.
Something happened to my camera. It's frozen.
As you see our sponsors stream across. Our good friends from Linton's, Northside CarQuest Auto Parts, Play It Again Sports, Bowling Vision Center, A1 Concrete Leveling, Sanders Pianowski, Premium Concrete Services, Kreiders. All the rest of them as they stream across your screen. So it looks like we're getting ready for Heat 1 of the 100-meter dash, which has Wesley Howard of Elkhart in lane 1, Eden Lawnbreak of Elkhart in lane 2, Landon Bennett from Penn, lane 3, Cam Ridgway of Elkhart, lane 4, Tyler Moore of Jimtown, lane 5, Chad Myers, Jimtown, lane 6, Taylor Ring Riley in lane 7, and Daniel Pine from John Adams in lane 8. And it looks like we're going to get underway.
The final call for each 1 through 4 of the 100 meters. Final call, each 1 through 4 of the 100 meters. First call, each 5 through 8
Hello.
of the 100 meters. First call, each 5 to 8 of the 100 meters.
And the competitors are on the line for Heat 1. And they're off. And we're still showing you some long jump, but a nice race here. It looks to be Tyler Moore from Jimtown in the lead. But coming up on the outside, that looks like Taylor Ring. And it is from Riley High School. So a great race. The first heat of the 100-meter dash. Heat 2 is going to have Chris Palmer from Elkhart in lane 1. Delamore Oliveris from Riley in lane 3. Leland Hedrick from Elkhart lane 5. Cody McGillum of Penn in lane 6. Johnny Heath, Elkhart lane 7. Brennan Crouch, Elkhart lane 8. And they're already getting those student athletes lined up. You see the competitors. So we see 4 blue shirts down there. And Penn and Riley also represented in this heat. A little bit of a delay. I think we're ready. Long jump competition continuing. As is the shot put. But in the final stages of both. And we'll see if we're going to get this underway. We should. Momentarily. And it looks like we're getting everybody in their position now. It's always a good sign when the megaphone gets out there. And Brennan Crouch looked to be a little bit anxious. The official walks over with a few words, and hopefully Brennan can remain set until the gun. And they're off on a clean start. And the Riley competitor, Oliveris, way out in front. Hedrick trying to catch her. And a really good race here. And how about that? Delamar Oliveris from James Whitcomb Riley High School in Heat 2. So Heat 3 will have Violet Redmond from Mishawaka in lane 1, Jack Glasgow from Penn in lane 2, Emma Leaf from Elkhart in lane 3, Jesus Argajillo in lane 4, Maddie Paget from Elkhart in lane 5, Lamaria Simon from Riley in lane 6, and Kaylor Leckel from Mishawaka in lane 8.
Second place, Elkhart, Hayden Deinhardt. First place, Elkhart, Gudrun Jornadottir.
And we see the athletes lined up for Heat 3 of the 100-meter dash. And once again, maybe we're reloading. We'll get underway. A clean start. And again, Simon from Riley pulling away. Really good form. And she's going to take this heat. Okay. Gary, how's everything going down there? Awesome. Oh, awesome. So we'll be bringing the second camera. We were doing a remote for the long jump. We're going to go to Heat 4 of the 100-meter dash. And just also took a quick break over in the press box, and we'll try to give you some results quickly between heats from the field events. So Heat 4, Maya Williamson from Penn, lane 1. Stephen Bastillo from Elkhart, lane 2. Oliva Richards from Jimtown, lane 3. I'm about ready to start. So Baker, Miller from Elkhart, 4 and 5. Gorsuch from Penn, lane 6. Flanagan from Adams in lane 7. Pletcher from Jimtown, lane 8. And they're off. And this time, tightly bunched. Bustillo in lane 2 trying to hold off these competitors, and he will. Stephen Bastillo from Elkhart in Heat 4 of the 100-meter dash. In the long jump, first place was Jenna Pletcher at 7'5 and a half. Second place, Jack Glasgow from Penn, 6 feet 1. Third place was Micah Fast from Elkhart, 4'8 and a half. In flight 2, Olivia Baca from Elkhart, 9'8 and a half. Simon from Riley, 9'8 and a half, but based on the second jump, Baca wins it. And in third was Chloe. All it says is Chloe. Chloe from John Adams. Chloe, we all love you. We know who you are. She with a jump of 7 feet 9. Lane for heat 5 of the 100-meter dash. It's going to be Sophia Garcia from Penn in lane 2, Haley Kruger from Penn lane 3, Ethan Holmes from Penn in lane 5, Ariana Richards of Jimtown in lane 7, and Brooklyn Humphrey from Elkhart in lane 8. And again, we'll try to give you more results between the heats. This is heat 5 of the 100-meter dash. And they're off. Brooklyn Humphrey from Elkhart looking really good in lane 8. Trying to hold off Ethan Holmes. That's going to be close. Oh, I think Brooklyn got that one. So a really nice race in heat 5. In the shot put, flight 1, James Yoakum, 14 feet 1 inch. First place, Daniel Pine from John Adams, 12.6. And Miguel Esparza from Jimtown, 11.8, finished third. In flight 2, Wesson from John Adams, 18.1.5. Alicia Dixon from Elkhart, second place. And third place went to Stephen Bastillo from Elkhart. Flight 3, Penn dominated, all Penn competitors. Evelyn Scheidler, first place, 17.1. Second place, Zaya Graham. Third place went to Miriam Ivy. So now we're getting lined up for heat 6 of the 100-meter dash. Audrina Trujillo from Penn in lane 1. Marcy Salcido Matos from Penn in lane 2. Desiree Anderson from Riley, lane 3. Lexus Shackelford from Penn, lane 5. Nathaniel Huff from Penn in lane 6. And Arian Wesson from John Adams is in lane 8. And they're underway. And Wesson from John Adams in a tight race with Desiree Anderson from Riley. But it looks like Arian Wesson will hold her off for the win in heat 6. In the long jump, flight 3, the winner was Kyla Travator from Penn with a jump of 9 feet 9 inches. Second place, Maya Williamson from Penn. And then third place was Bryce Maluski from Penn. In flight 4 in the long jump, Charia Newman from Penn, 12 feet 1, wins it, followed by Roger Lewis of John Adams and Ariana Richards from Jimtown. We're getting lined up for heat 7 of the 100-meter dash. Carmichael, lane 1 from Penn. Elkins, Mishawaka, lane 2. Sigatone Pina from Penn, lane 3. McDonald, Penn, lane 4. Weaver, lane 5. Maluski, Penn, lane 6. Floyd, Penn, lane 7. Emily Harmon from Elkhart is in lane 8. And the competitors are lined up. And a clean start. Carmichael in lane 1 looks back. You never look back. Someone might be gaining on you, but nobody's going to be gaining on him tonight as he wins that. Andon Carmichael of Penn High School in Heat 7. More results. In the shot put, Flight 4, Brennan Crouch from Elkhart with a 19 feet 6 inch effort wins it. Kendall Shepard from Penn finishes in second, and Callie Sanchez from Penn finishes third. In Flight 5, it was Bradley Flanagan of John Adams High School, 26-10 and 3/4. Keegan Michelle, Penn, 19-4 1/4 in second. And Jaden Marino from Mishawaka, 19-1 1/2, finishing third. Heat 6, Robert Shelton from John Adams, 26-7 and 3/4. Jaden Horvath from Penn, 22-6. And again, Robert Shelton's from John Adams. And then third was Philip Horvath from John Adams at 20 feet 11 1/4. And this is going to be Heat 8 of the 100-meter dash. Garton from Jimtown, Channing from Penn, Scheidler from Penn, Herrera from Elkhart, Cronkite from Elkhart, Wesson from Adams, Flanagan from Adams, Lashure from Elkhart. Addison, I think that's Lashure. So once again, Addison, and to her proud parents and family, if I mispronounced it, I apologize. She's one of our Elkhart Lions. Thank you, sir. And we're off in Heat 8. And Hector Herrera in lane 4, closely pursued. Hector keeping his form, and he's going to win it. Hector Herrera, Elkhart High School in Heat 8 of the 100-meter dash. And we'll catch up on these field events again. In the long jump in Heat Flight 5, Olivia Richards from Jimtown, 11 feet 1/2 inch. Millie Mamalenti from, Michelle Marie Roach from Penn, 10 feet 4. And Dina Quintanilla from Elkhart, finishing third. In Flight 6, Mia Reinholtz from Elkhart, 12 feet 3. Samari Morris from Adams in second. And Reese Brew of Mishawaka in third. And we're getting ready now for Heat 9 of the 100-meter dash. We have Hartley Swan, Bjorn Adatter from Elkhart lane 3, Reinholtz, Elkhart lane 4, Shepard, that's Kendall Shepard lane 5, Daneka Shepard lane 6, and Micah Wilson from Penn in lane 8. Thanks, JP. And we're off in the 100-meter dash. Heat 9. The Elkhart competitors looking really strong. Reinholtz in lane 4 And her teammate finishing 1-2, that was Mia Reinholtz and Gudrun Bjornadatter. So a good finish for Elkhart. Oh. And now we'll go on to Heat 10 of the 100-meter dash. As they're getting lined up quickly, we have Morris from Adams in lane one, D'Armand from Mishawaka lane 2, Cooper Adams lane 3, Newman from Penn lane 4, Cook lane 5 from Elkhart, Martinez Penn lane 6, Young from John Adams in lane 7, Lefevre from Elkhart in lane 8, and Granger from John Adams in lane 9. Heat 10 of the 100-meter dash. Very efficiently run track and field meet here at Rice Field tonight. It's continuing to cool off, a little bit more breezy. A clean start. And in lane 3, that's Cooper from John Adams ahead of the pack. And he runs a very fine race, holding his form all the way through the finish. That's Harrison Cooper from John Adams High School. So going back to the field events, in the long jump, in flight 7, Gudrun Bjornadatter from Elkhart finishing first with a jump of 13 feet 2 inches. Second place, Hayden Dinehart from Elkhart. Third place was Hope Robertson from Penn. And then in flight 8 of the long jump, Tucker Waits from Elkhart, jump of 15 feet 9 inches. Second place, Norman Mammon from Adams. And third place went to Beck Ivy from Penn, as that competitor finished third. This is Heat 11 of the 100-meter dash. Cuthbert of Elkhart. I don't see Owen Marks in lane 2. Powell from Jimtown lane 3. Shelton Adams lane 4. Horvath Adams lane 5. Hamby Jimtown, great Bogo name, lane 6. Mamalenti from Mishawaka in lane 7. And Leroy from Jimtown in lane 8. I haven't named a cook yet, I don't think, from Jimtown tonight. There's always a cook. Or a bender. So our starters coordinating down by the starting line.
All right. Here, we'll get you your one shot.
Next to last heat of the 100-meter dash.
We're in a delay for they got the red flag out. lightning's on its way?
No,
sir,
it
that
means that
normally
there's...
means the camera. They're trying to find the places for the last race.
Oh.
That race would look pretty cool.
And everybody's getting lined up now. Lights starting to take more effect.
All Jimmy's. All Jimmy's.
Again, get us to 2,500 followers on Michiana Video. Like us and follow us on Facebook. You can catch us across the United States and around the world. From Houston, Texas, Downers Grove, Illinois, Darien, Connecticut, Mission Viejo, California, and all points in between, and around the world.
You guys selling any snow cones over there? All right.
A little bit more of a delay here.
Probably be a lot better sales
Not
if it wasn't
quite
so
sure
cold
why
out.
we're running in rapid succession.
Edward, tell them come buy a snow cone.
We'll get everybody set here. As you can see from our fine camera work, you can see the competitors for Heat 12 already lining up behind the competitors in Heat 11. Now we're ready to get going. And another clean start in Heat 11. And John Adams, Robert Shelton looking very strong. But here comes Cuthbert from Elkhart. Close race. I think Shelton held him off. Robert Shelton, John Adams
Put your
High
hands up.
School.
Come on, let's see some enthusiasm there.
Of course, we'll bring you all the official results as they come in.
I got him on camera right now, so go home and...
You might in the background hear the velvet tones of J.P. Jobert,
Yep. Got the whole
public
event.
address announcer tonight on Elkhart Unified Track and Field Meet with all these competing, participating schools. So our thanks to JP and the crew. In Heat 12, Willie Piggy from Adams Lane 1, Norman Mammon, Adams Lane 2, Jarvis Sherrell Banner, Adams in Lane 3, Catravian Underwood, Elkhart Lane 4, Ian Krempick of Elkhart Lane 5, Cole Carper from Jimtown in Lane 6, and Gabrielle Rodriguez of Jimtown is in Lane 8. Krempick has the fastest personal best in the field. As I mentioned, Ian is in Lane 5. Always plenty of Krempicks in Elkhart. And as we look around the infield a little bit, we see always that proliferation of blankets, which is always a go-to for any spring sport in northern Indiana. And we're trying to get the competitors set. And we're about ready to get underway. Great video from our Michiana video production team. A clean start. How about that? Underwood right there with Krempik. Underwood, he's going to take, he leaned a little soon, but Katraven Underwood beats Ian Krempik in a great race in Heat 12. Two teammates and fellow competitors. Great to watch that. We do have some official results from the 100-meter dash. Our next event on the agenda will be the 400-meter dash. We'll have to get everybody organized for that. So in the 100-meter dash, Heat 1, Taylor Ring with a time of 24.06 seconds is the winner. Tyler Moore finishes second. Cam Ridgway from Elkhart finishes third, and Tyler Morse from Jimtown. Heat 2, Delamar Oliveras from Riley High School, winning with a time of 16.83. Leland Hedrick of Elkhart finishes second. Cody McGillum from Penn finishes third. And in Heat 3, Lamaria Simon from Riley, 15.75. Jesus Arulo from Elkhart, second place. And Emma Leaf of Elkhart in third. And in the fourth heat of the 100-meter dash, Stephen Bastillo of Elkhart winning with a time of 16.68. Emberly Miller of Elkhart finishes second. And Alex Flanagan from John Adams finishes third. In Heat 5, Brooklyn Humphrey of Elkhart with a time of 16.03 wins it. Ethan Holmes of Penn finishes second. And Sophia Garcia from Penn finishes third. Heat 6, Arian Wesson from John Adams winning it with a time of 15.33. Desiree Anderson from Riley finishes second. And Adriana Trujillo of Penn finishes third. And we see the competitors getting organized for the first heat of the 400-meter dash. And I think I mentioned, but I will again, that we have 8 heats for this event. And Elkhart represented in Heat 1, Miguel Esparza. He's in lane 1. Chloe Harwood of Adams in lane 2. Delaney Cassine of Adams lane 3. Michaela Nemeth Penn lane 4. Maria Hernandez Penn lane 5. Roger Lewis of John Adams in lane 6. And Logan LaFree of Jimtown High School is in lane 7. This is a staggered start because of the inside lanes and the curves. And again, our officials trying to keep everybody moving and doing quite well. Thanks, JP. And we'll bring you more field event results here in a moment. And Heat 1 of the 400-meter dash is underway. As I mentioned, the southeast wind, so on the back stretch, more helping than hurting. And a big lead opened up on the back stretch And that is Roger Lewis in lane 6, but coming right up in lane 5 is Hernandez from Penn. And now she's taken the lead. Actually, that's lane 4. That's Michaela Nemeth. Michaela Nemeth in lane 4. And Michaela is going to take this heat. Michaela Nemeth, Penn High School, with a fine race as she just kept her form and kept running. And now we're going to see the rest of our competitors. In lane 1, that is Miguel Esparza, trying to get some leverage right there, or some altitude. Fly like the wind, son. And Miguel, he's trying to beat his personal best, and he looked pretty pleased with that result. And we'll have the competitors line up for Heat 2 momentarily. And we'll give you some more results from the field events. In the shot put, Flight 7, Leland Hedrick of Elkhart winning with a throw of 27 feet 6 inches. And there are only 2 attempts that the competitors receive for this type of meet. Henry Randolph from Jimtown finished 2nd, and Miguel Rodriguez of Penn finishes 3rd. In Flight 8, Duncan Lefevre of Elkhart, 34 1/2 inch, wins it. Jose Paz Cabrera from Elkhart finishes 2nd. Efren Gibson from John Adams finishes 3rd.
Can you say it one more time?
Flight 9, Elijah Stewart from John Adams, 40 feet 10.5. Great throw for him, much surpassing his personal best coming into the meet. Camden Leroy of Jimtown finishes 2nd, and Nico Hamby of Jimtown finishes 3rd in Flight 9 in the shot put. And we're trying to get everybody lined up for Heat 2 of the 400-meter dash. The metric quarter mile. We have Joseph Curtis of Penn in lane 1, Miriam Ivy of Penn in lane 2, Emma Leaf from Elkhart lane 3, Robert Shelton from Adams lane 4, Emily Harmon of Elkhart lane 5, Jesus Arijo in lane 6, and Micah Fast in lane 7. And a clean start for Heat 2 of the 400-meter dash. As I mentioned, 4 Elkhart competitors in this competition. And that looks to be Miriam Ivy in lane 2, looking very strong from Penn. And on the outside, I believe that is Arijo and Fast.
We got him on camera too.
Those 3 coming around the final turn, heading for home. And that's actually Emma Leaf from Elkhart in lane 3, but her 2 teammates on the outside. Harmon and Arijo. And Elkhart trying to sweep here. And they will in Heat 2 of the 400-meter dash. And so then we'll go on to Heat 3 of the 400-meter dash. We're going to have Aubrey Berger from Penn and Lane 1, Cameron Yoko from Penn and Lane 2, Brooklyn Humphrey, Elkhart Lane 3, Jersey Frazzle, Penn Lane 4, Addison LaSure, Elkhart Lane 5, David Chrysler, Jimtown Lane 6, Dylan Flanagan, John Adams High School in Lane 7. I should mention that we get these sheets right before the meet. Sometimes competitors pull out for some reason, injury, fatigue, other factors. So sometimes I might announce somebody who's not in the race, but I'm looking at the sheet that the meet organizers gave us. And we're going to take a break right now on Michiana Video.
Here at A1 Concrete Leveling, we pride ourselves on our experts who will do whatever it takes to restore your concrete to its original condition. We hydraulically pump either a mud concrete mixture or an environmentally friendly polyurethane compound. As soon as we're done, we patch up and you're all set. A1 is here to make the process as simple and clean as possible. A1 Concrete Leveling.
Just underway with Heat 3 of the 400-meter dash. Trying to get a few commercials in there to thank our sponsors. Their support of Michiana Video supports Elkhart High School athletics. We're on the backstretch. I think that's David Chrysler from Jimtown in lane 6. He's the man in black. And of course on the stagger, we'll get a better idea of where everybody is. Actually in lane 1, Berger looks pretty good. She has really good form coming around the far turn. And she should be able to make that up pretty easily. And she does. And Elkhart, Brooklyn Humphrey in lane 3. She's doing her best to keep her form. And that is actually Dylan Flanagan from John Adams High School in lane 7. Dylan is running second. But Brooklyn trying to catch him. And she may well do that. She does. Another Elkhart competitor coming up. That's Addison LaSure. And not quite getting Flanagan, but Elkhart with a nice race there in Heat 3. Aubrey Berger looking very strong for the Kingsmen.
Results from Heat 7 of the 100 meters. Third place from Elkhart, Emily Harmon. Second place from...
And we'll move on to Heat 4 here quickly as you see the competitors lining up. And we're going to have 4 competitors from Penn. And it looks like everybody showed up for this. Rodriguez Trovator from Penn, lanes 1 and 2. Sanabria Patino of Jimtown, lane 3. Blatz, Penn, lane 4. Gross, Penn, lane 5. Castillo of Elkhart in lane 6. And Samantha Cronkite of Elkhart High School in lane 7. Thank you, sir. We'll have more results for you in a minute. And we're getting ready for this 400-meter dash. Getting everybody in place on the stagger. And this is a tightly bunched group based on personal best effort so far this season. I mentioned there's 4 Penn competitors, 2 from Elkhart, 1 from Jimtown. And they're at a nice pace on the backstretch. On the stagger, I think that's going to be Trovator. No. Really strong effort here in lane 3 by Sanabria Patino as Peyton Blatz from Penn tries to catch him. And he was looking back, about 3 or 4 meter lead, trying to keep his form. And he looks pretty strong. And he's going to win Heat 4. Jediel Sanabria Patino from Jimtown High School. Peyton Blatz from Penn finishes second. And we'll give you the results now quickly for the long jump flights 9 and 10. First place, Isaac Silvas from Elkhart, 15.8. Second place, Francisco Izula from Elkhart, 15.5. And then Donald Morris from John Adams finishes third. In flight 10, Leonardo Santiago from Penn High School, 19 feet 2 inches. Colin Krempik just 1 inch behind him in second, and Quinn Chandler with a jump of 16.9 finishes third from Elkhart High School. So we'll be ready now quickly for Heat 5, and that's going to be Shakow from Penn, LaWill from Adams, Scott from Mishawaka, Zumbrin from Penn, Ham from Penn, Blackwell from Penn, and Gibson from John Adams. And you see all the competitors. Great camera work. A little bit more wind in the air. Thank you, sir. As the competitors are getting set. And the wind now more out of the east. And we're down to 63 degrees. So actually more of a crosswind for the competitors. A clean start, and by efforts, these competitors really just 3 seconds apart. So this should be an exciting race in Heat 5. On the backstretch, Gibson from John Adams looks strong, but you can see coming up in lane 3 is Scott from Mishawaka, Zumbrin from Penn in lane 4, and they are bunched. LaWill from Adams looks strong now as he comes around the far turn heading for home, and he's going to pick it up and lay it down. Dylan LaWill looking very strong for the John Adams Eagles. He's going to win this one going away. And the Penn competitors 2, 3, 4 behind him. But a fine race by that young man. So the John Adams Eagles with a win in Heat 5 of the 400-meter dash.
Results from the 400 meters, heat number 1. Third place.
We'll take a break right now and come back on Michiana Video.
Second place, South Bend Adams, Roger Lewis. First place from Japan.
Hello folks, if you're looking to buy or sell quality new and used sporting goods, make sure to check out Play It Again Sports Elkhart by the Concord Mall. In the meantime, check us out here on Facebook or visit our website. Thanks for watching and best of luck to both teams.
And we're back at Rice Field for Heat 6 of the 400-meter dash. And we have Greer from Mishawaka, lane 1, Brew, Mishawaka, lane 3, Blair from Mishawaka, lane 4, Ranke, lane 5 from Adams, Powell from Jimtown, and lane 6, and Tommy Asbury from Elkhart, lane 7. Elkhart baseball winning tonight, by the way, 3-1 over St. Joseph. So they split that series after a disappointing loss yesterday at home. Elkhart bounces back. And again, these competitors, but in lane 3, Reese Brew on the far side, she looks really good. In lane 3, as they go around the far turn and head for home. But now Tommy Asbury on the outside looks very strong. As they come down the home stretch, Tommy picked it up. And now Tommy with a sizable lead. Keeping his form, looking forward, not looking back. And coming up here in lane 5 is Ranke. But Tommy Asbury with a solid effort in Heat 6 of the 400-meter dash. Congratulations all around, and a thumbs up. Good race by those competitors. And we'll be ready here in just a moment for Heat 7 of the 100 meters. We'll give you some results from the 100-meter dash quickly. Heat 12. KT Underwood, 12.22, winning the race. Krempick finishes second. And then Cyril Banner from Adams finishes third. In Heat 11, Robert Shelton from John Adams, 14.19. He wins it. Powell finishes second. And Cuthbert finishes third. Cuthbert from Elkhart. In Heat 10, Harrison Cooper from John Adams, 14.16. Second place, Cassidy Cook from Elkhart. And Elena Young from John Adams finishes third. And they're getting lined up for Heat 7 of the 400-meter dash. That's going to be Cuthbert from Elkhart lane 1, Abrell from Jimtown lane 3, Silvis Elkhart lane 4, Sandler Penn lane 6, Waits Elkhart lane 6, Maradiega from Elkhart lane 7. So you have 4 Elkhart competitors in Heat 7. And everybody paying attention to the starter. Another clean start on the backstretch now. Elkhart looking very strong. But on the inside right there, Oliver Stevens from Jimtown making up a lot of ground on the stagger. And so he certainly is leading as they approach the far turn. And coming down the backstretch, it's going to be Stevens right there. But again, look at this in lane 7, strong run, Quinn Chandler. And now Walker coming up on him. Walker catches Quinn, taking the lead. And now the Penn competitor right there. And now on the inside lane, lane 1. And a great race by Brendan Walker. Elkhart with a strong finish in Heat 8.
Second call. 4x100.
Or I should say that was Heat 7. I apologize. I got one ahead. And so I think that would have been Tucker Waits from Elkhart. Sorry, Tucker. In lane 6, as Mira Diego was in lane 7. And we're trying to keep everybody straight, folks. So I apologize. I think that was Tucker Waits with the win. And Cuthbert, I finally realized that Ben was making up a lot of space. And he's in lane 1. In lane 8 is a competitor from Penn High School. So good job there by the Elkhart Lions. So I can't mess this one up because this is Heat 8. Good look at these competitors. And so that's Rodriguez lane 1, Stevens from Jimtown lane 2, Krempix lane 4, Santiago from Penn lane 5, Brendan Walker lane 6, Quinn Chan lane 7, Cruz Gallegos from Penn lane 8. So we'll give the proper amount of congratulations when the final results come in from Heat 7. And again, I think that was Tucker Waits, but we'll get the official results. I think I was getting too excited watching these great competitors. And there's some coaching. Look at that. Love it. It's actually, was that Larry? That's Larry Kissinger trying to help. Larry's one of the officials working tonight. Officials can coach you up too. And of course, if you have any interest in becoming an IHSAA official, please contact the Indiana High School Athletic Association. We're about ready to get underway as everybody's on the stagger here in the final heat of the 400-meter dash. Clean start. We'll have relays after this. And looking strong right there is Santiago from Penn. But the Elkhart competitors right there with him, Krempik, Walker, and Chandler. And they'll come across the far turn. And now on the inside, that's Krempik. He looks really strong coming into the home stretch. Keep your form, Colin. And he looks great coming down the home stretch here. And Santiago's not going to get him as Colin Krempik wins it. Santiago finishes second. And then Walker, Chandler in that order, third and fourth for Elkhart High School. So a fine race again in Heat 7 and 8 by the Elkhart Lions here at Rice Field. We'll give you some more results. 100-meter dash, Heat 9. Reinhold's 14.75. Bjorn Dotterer from Elkhart second. Wilson Penley finishes third. And now I do have the official pronunciation. Herrera in Heat 8 wins at 15.75. Bradley Flanagan from Adams finishes second. Addison LaSour finishes third from Elkhart. So Addison, we got you the right pronunciation thanks to JP helping me. And then Heat 7, Andon Carmichael finishes first, 15.83. Chase Weaver, 16.30. And Emily Harmon of Elkhart finishes third in Heat 7. We're getting ready to organize the relays. And we'll do a quick break before they get everybody all set to go. All the exciting action on Michiana Video.
Premium Concrete is a locally owned family business in business since 2004. We're located just across the Elkhart River from Tom Kurth Field at 712 Richmond Street. Premium Concrete specializes in municipal and utility work, along with heavy industrial and commercial concrete projects. We're a proud member and supporter of this outstanding and diverse school system and community. Premium Concrete.
Looking for a Medicare plan's easy, right? If you like reviewing dozens of plans all by yourself. Or you can turn to Health Markets and let your local licensed insurance agent help make it easier to find the right plan for you. Working together, we'll help you compare a range of plans in your area and find the one that fits your needs and budget. The Medicare annual enrollment period is here. Call the number on your screen to talk with your local Health Markets agent today.
As parents, we all care about test scores, teacher quality, school safety, the list goes on. There are a lot of challenges facing schools today, and it can be hard to sort through all the information and know what's true. That's why every Monday and Wednesday, I'm digging deeper into the topics you care about, to keep you informed, to hold our schools accountable, and to keep all of us connected to our children's education. Watch Operation Education Monday and Wednesday at 6 on WSBT 22 News.
And we're going to have two 4x100 relays, and we need to get everybody in place. And so we'll give you some results. It'll be a boys race and a girls race in the 4x1. In the 400-meter dash, Heat 1, the winner was Michaela Nemeth of Penn, 121.39. Roger Lewis finished second. Delaney Cassine of Adams finished third. In Heat 2, the winner was Jesus Arujillo of Elkhart, 129.59. Ran fast, 132.34, finishing second from Elkhart. And Emma Leaf from Elkhart finishes third, so Elkhart sweeps 1, 2, 3 in Heat 2. In Heat 3 of the 400-meter dash, Aubrey Berger with a fine race tonight, 122.03, winning it. Brooklyn Humphrey from Elkhart finishes second, and Dylan Flanagan from John Adams finishes third. In Heat 4, JDL Sanabria Patino from Jimtown wins it, 117.02, personal best for him. Second place, another personal best, Peyton Blatz from Penn High School. And then another personal best, Kyla Trovator from Penn finishes third. And in Heat 5, Lowell from John Adams, Dylan Lowell, nice race, 108.45 personal best for that young man. Peyton Ham from Penn finishes second, and Jacob Zumbrin from Penn finishes third. And in Heat 6, Tommy Asbury, great race. Tommy with a personal best, 108.43. Gus Ranke from Adams finished second, and Blake Blair from Mishawaka finishes third. So we've almost got you completely up to date. Completely, thanks to JP, who's doing his usual excellent job. He's a real professional on the public address tonight. Regional Sports Network, South Bend Cubs, University of Notre Dame, and now we're off in the 4x1 boys relay. Adams in lane 1, Mishawaka lane 2, Penn lane 3, Elkhart lane 4, Penn team in lane 5, Jimtown 6, and 2 John Adams teams. And so they're passing the baton, and Elkhart looks very strong in lane 4. He's got to make those exchanges. Little hesitation by the Lions that allow the other teams to make up some ground. Third leg coming to an end. Here's the anchor, and that's Krempik. And he's running well. Adams in lane 1 in second, Penn in third, and as long as they stayed within their pass zones, Elkhart will win it. Adams finishes second, Penn finishes third in the 4x1 boys relay. As the other teams finish their race, we'll give you the results in the remaining races of the 400-meter dash. Tucker waits. Tucker, way to go. We'll give you the kudos, young man. 106.02 in Heat 7. Cuthbert did finish second from Elkhart. Behind him, and then Isaac Silvas, as I mentioned, Elkhart did in fact sweep it in Heat 7. Great job, Lions. And in Heat 8, the winner was Colin Krempik, 55.94, as he did a personal best tonight. So great effort by Colin Krempik of Elkhart. Leonardo Santiago from Penn High School finishes second, and Brendan Walker of Elkhart finishes third. Quinn Chandler of Elkhart, good race for Quinn. He has a personal best tonight. He finished fourth. So we're completely up to date. And our thanks again to JP and the other folks in the press box for keeping us up to date with these results so we can share them with you on Michiana Video. So in the girls relay, we're going to have 5 teams compete. John Adams, 2 Penn teams in 3 and 4. Elkhart in lane 5, and John Adams High School in lane 6. And once again, we'll have to get everybody placed after they get their instructions from the starters. And this is our final event of the evening, and it's been an eventful one. We certainly hope you've enjoyed it here on Michiana Video and on the WSBT media platforms. And once again, thanks to all of our sponsors of Michiana Video, Hotman Jewelers, Neva, Kitchens, etc. Hotman's is a stream across your screen and during our commercial timeouts. And now we're going to get all the competitors in place. And we do have 5 teams competing per the form. As I mentioned, John Adams in lane 2, Penn teams in lane 3 and 4, Elkhart lane 5, John Adams lane 6. And fortunately, a few drops of rain, but no storms. And actually a very pleasant spring evening in the city with a heart at historic Rice Field, part of the Coach Tom Kurth Athletic Complex. Coach Kurth loved track and field. A close second to football. And across the way, the field house where Coach Kurth spent so many hours with student athletes and on this field and on this track. It looks like we're about ready to get underway, making sure everybody's in place. Lights really taking almost full effect now. Sunset not official for 20 minutes or so, but dark. And of course, with our Michiana Video production team, we're able to brighten up your screens. Another good start for these competitors. This should be a close race based on the personal bests. You always have to worry about those exchanges. Penn and lane 4 looking really good. Elkhart right there with them. And on the exchange, Elkhart again, both Penn and Elkhart a little slow. Making sure they can handle it. And the third leg comes across the far turn for the anchors. And it looks like Penn is going to have a lead. Elkhart right with them. And now John Adams coming up on Elkhart. Both Adams and Elkhart gaining some ground, but it looks like the Kingsmen are going to hold this off. And they do. An exciting race in the 4x1 girls relay. As Penn, Elkhart, and John Adams all right there. The Kingsmen taking it, however. And a lot of excitement for these student athletes. Our final event of the night from Elkhart. And again, a big thank you to all of the meet officials, volunteers, the folks in the press box, as this was very efficiently conducted tonight at Rice Field with all these races, all these competitors. And we'll get everybody organized right now on the infield, which is, of course, the football field. And these competitors certainly had a wonderful time tonight at Rice Field, competing in unified track and field. W. Pond, CarQuest Northside Auto Parts on County Road 6 in Elkhart, Crossroads Community Church. Lots of good folks there. And now we're going to give you some great video of the student athletes tonight. Our special thanks to Todd Sheely for providing so much information and our event sheets tonight so we can identify everybody. And we hope you enjoyed the video that we could provide you on the field events and, of course, the fine production on the running events tonight at Rice Field. I think we're going to try to get a big group picture, it looks like. You're going to have to get out the wide angle lens. A lot of wide smiles. And this is really a unique part of this competition. We'll get everybody in the frame. And we hope everyone watching the stream and finds their favorite student athlete. And that's a great shot. And a lot of cheers go up.
Go, go, go.
And the buses are going to get warmed up for our competitors tonight from Adams, Riley, Mishawaka, Jimtown, Penn, and the host Elkhart Lions. And more smiles. Everybody loves a camera.
Elkhart, come on.
Relay. Third place, Jimtown. Second place.
And now more of a close-up shot of our Elkhart Lions. And each of the teams now gathering to make sure we get everybody accounted for.
So,
particularly if you're getting on a bus.
we have an away meet at St.
And now some instructions being given out for our Lions about practices and meets. So we hope you enjoyed all this video tonight, as we're going to wrap this up from Rice Field and Elkhart. Once again, we want to thank the Michiana video production team tonight. And there's our upcoming schedule. Next week, as I mentioned, baseball will be with Penn on Wednesday, and then back at the softball diamond against Penn on Thursday, May 8th. Baseball, May 12th on Monday, a week from Monday. Catch all the exciting action on Michiana Video. And there's our Michiana Video production team. Tonight, Rex Smith and Courtney Hamilton on cameras. Our friend Keith Bieber was otherwise detained with his family responsibilities, coaching to be specific. So Keith will look for you next week for baseball and softball. Of course, Jason Aaron is the technical assistant and the executive producer of Michiana Video is Mr. Gary Martin. So once again, we hope you enjoyed the stream of Unified Track from Rice Field. Congratulations to all of the competitors. We want to wish you a very pleasant good evening from Elkhart. And as always, go Lions!
Thank you for watching tonight's game here on the Michiana Video Facebook page. Be sure to like us and follow us so that you don't miss any of the Elkhart streams. Go Lions!